the F major scale, the second scale of your assignment for the next 2 weeks, okay? So remember exercise 96? That was your F major scale. We have worked on that so many times. So find in your red book, exercise number 96, okay? And let's turn to that page and let's go ahead really quick and review that scale. Before we do anything though, check your key signature. We are now in a different key than your concert B flat. We've actually taken a flat away. If you look, we only have B flat. All E's are natural, so flutes, unfortunately, for this one, we're going to play what we call the awkward E, okay? That's where the ring finger sticks up. So we have thumb 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2 on the bottom hand. Ring finger is going to stand up, and then you're going to drop your pinky, all right? So we're going to play what we call the awkward E for this one. We are going to go ahead and we're going to play it on the low end or the low octave of your scale. So let's go ahead and try that together. Here we go. Let's just review line 1 of exercise 96. 1 and 2 and ready and go. Now, remember guys, what I said when I had you guys learn the lower register of the instrument, remember, we want that low sound. We don't want that, we don't want to sound like it's trying to jump the octave. So remember, when you're blowing out your birthday candles, you only want the light to flicker. You don't want to blow all your candles out to get that low register, that slower air going through the head joint so you can get that lower octave sound, okay? Make sure that we review that. If you need to review that a couple times before moving on to this next portion of the lesson, feel free to do that. But right now I'm going to go ahead and move on and let's look at the scale sheet, the same scale sheet that we use for your concert B flat. Okay, so make sure you have that out and ready to go.
Your lovely FBA scale sheet. So, let's look at this. You should have this in front of you. Let's find, now we're on the F major scale. So we're going to look for the one that's titled F major. Well, look at that. That's number 2 on our scale sheet. That's our second scale, F major, okay? Now, if you remember from the concert B flat scale, when we talked about the arpeggio, we said it was a little different from the actual red book arpeggio. And remember I said in the concert B flat one, it consisted of 1, 3, 5, and 8. The first note, the third note, the fifth note, and the eighth or the octave of your scale. Well, let's check this out. Look at this arpeggio here. We have F, which is your first note, A, which is your third, C, which is your fifth, and your octave or your F as your top note, okay? So the arpeggio formula for all of your scales is actually the same for all of them, 1, 3, 5, 8. So whatever your first, third, fifth, or eighth note of your scale is going to be as your scale number, it's going to be the same formula for any major scale that you learn from here on out, okay? So if you look, key signature is still the same. Check that guy out. B flat, okay? All E's are natural. There's that offender right there, that awkward E. Make sure we pay attention to that. And let's go ahead and play this F major scale from start to finish with your new arpeggio, and then we're going to go back and we're going to work on the arpeggios separately. All right?
Here we go. F major scale, F concert major scale, according to the FBA requirement. Here we go. 1 and 2 and together and... I hope you made it through okay, and no fatalities were involved in that one. So let's look now at just the arpeggio by itself, okay? Let's look at the arpeggio by itself. That's the last 3 bars of your scale, just like we talked about for your B flat. So let's look at that. We have your first note of your scale, which is F. Then we have A natural. then here's your F, high F. Now we're going to work backwards. C, A, and then your F. So if you need to go through that a couple times, make sure that you're understanding and getting those jumps up a third, so your F to A to C to F. Then feel free to pause this video and continue to do that and keep working on that. Now we're going to just work on just the arpeggio, but getting it in the rhythm that they want you to play it in. Here we go. Here we go. Just the arpeggio. 2, ready, and... Awesome. So try and do that the next for like 3 times in a row. Remember I said 3 times in a row and you got it. So do just the arpeggio, make sure you're comfortable with it. All right. Now, remember what I talked about with your concert B flat. We wanted to make sure that we are then, once we get through the whole scale and the arpeggio together as one try, 3 times in a row, then we're going to go back and start increasing the tempo because the FBA requires us to go a little faster than what we were doing with our red book. All right. So remember what I said, start gradually increasing your tempo, play through it 3 times in a row. And if you can get through it 3 times in a row with no fatalities and no mistakes, then you start going ahead and adding a little bit more to the tempo each time. So let me go ahead and just demonstrate for you the concert F major scale in the FBA requirement and at the tempo that you will need to play it for me in the next assignment post. Here we go. Here's your concert F major scale according to the on-state requirement. I want you to go ahead and when you submit the video, try to get it at that tempo if you can, but keep practicing. Like I said, gradually increase the tempo to where you are comfortable enough to be able to play it at that tempo. And remember I said it's like cut time, where we cut the note in half, so your half note becomes a quarter note, and your quarter notes then become eighth notes, all right? Again, same thing like the B flat scale. If you have any issues with this one, please feel free to email me and we will figure out a time and a way to sit down together and I can walk you through it. And good luck, and I hope to see you soon.